With Rome Odunze sidelined and probably going to miss some time with an MCL sprain, I've got 5 Bears that need to step up here on today's show. My name is Harrison Graham. This is Chicago Bears Now. And before we get to that, send some good vibes to Mr. Odunze. Type the 15s down in the comment section of this video. Let's make sure Rome is feeling the love as he rehabs quickly and gets back onto the field. You take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Chicago Bears. Obviously, a big one on Sunday night against the Houston Texans. Then another tough road game against the Indianapolis Colts. A couple of road games against the Rams and Panthers at home. And then Jaguars in London. So those are your next 5 games. As far as Odunze goes, I'm guessing he misses 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think he'll go on short-term IR and miss 4 games. I think for sure he's going to miss at least this week, probably 1 or 2 more games as well. But a grade 1 sprain was the best case scenario for Rome Odunze. Let's get to some players that must step up, and I'm going to reveal the 2 obvious ones together here, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen, who did some okay things in the opener. Obviously, Caleb didn't have his best day, and Shane Waldron I didn't think had a great play calling game. So, numbers aren't going to jump off the page for you, but Keenan Allen, got to catch a touchdown pass on the front pylon there. You need DJ Moore to be a big play machine. These guys must deliver, and that was true with or without Rome Odunze, but especially without. These are the 2 guys you're going to be leaning on. These are going to be the 2 players that Caleb Williams is looking at when these plays get called. So you need your dogs to be dogs, and your dogs are DJ and Keenan, and hopefully they start putting up some big numbers like you need them to. How about Tyler Scott, who was inactive in the Bears season opener, which I said at the time, I'll say it again, I was not a big fan of that. Obviously, the Bears had Velus Jones Jr. activated or active to be your kick returner and also do a few things within the offense. DeAndre Carter was active to be your punt returner. He's obviously going to continue to be active because he also became your kick returner when Velus muffed one. Whether Velus is active or not, I think you got to activate Tyler Scott. He needs a role. He's a guy in the preseason and in training camp that was stretching the field vertically. And Keenan Allen's not really a big vertical threat. DJ Moore can be, but he's usually more of that intermediate yards after the catch. If you want to challenge teams downfield without Odunze, well, Tyler Scott's a burner, and he's someone who can take the top off. So that is a player I'd like to see get an opportunity, and hopefully he's able to step up if he does get that opportunity. Stay on top of your expenses and finances with our friends over at Rocket Money. We appreciate Rocket Money for sponsoring today's episode of Chicago Bears Now. Go download the app at rocketmoney.com/Bears Now. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that will find and cancel any subscriptions that you no longer want. It'll list all of your subscriptions on one screen, and you'll find out just how many or how much money you're spending on those subscriptions every single month. And if you decide you want to scale it back, click the cancel button next to a few of them. They will do the rest for you. That you don't have to deal with back and forth customer service. Rocket Money will kind of serve as a middleman, and they'll cancel it, and you won't be getting charged anymore. They'll help you save money in that way. They can also help you to negotiate to lower bills by up to 20% and a whole lot more. Tons of features with Rocket Money. If you use Rocket Money to its fullest potential, you can save over $700 per year. Think about what you could do with $700 right now. Go on a vacation. You could start a college fund. You could go on several nice meals. Whatever you want to do, Rocket Money is going to help you save that money. RocketMoney.com/Bears Now. Get started today. Start your account and start saving money. Set those budgets as well. Check your credit score. So many features with Rocket Money. Link is in the comments and in the description of this video. DeAndre Swift. Obviously a different position, but I think in general, you need to try to run the football more if you are Chicago. Now, the game got a little wonky in the sense of, well, the Bears got behind. Also, they were struggling to block in the interior. And so running the football, especially in the middle part of that game, was kind of an issue. But they had a couple nice runs early. On that final drive to chew some clock, they had a couple of nice runs. Swift had a sweet little hurdle as well. Ended up with 30 yards on 10 carries. Certainly had some negative runs in there too because the line got blown up a few times. But you want to be balanced if you're Chicago. You don't want to put everything on Caleb Williams' shoulders, right? Like, obviously, you need Caleb to to contribute more than he did, and we'll get into him here in just a second. But DeAndre Swift, you brought him in here to be a lead back, not to touch the ball 10 times for 30 yards. Like, he's got to be more of a factor moving forward. So that's a guy I'm looking to step up, period, but even more so with one of your key players in Odunze out. Speaking of Caleb Williams, yeah, it's only his second career game, second, third, fourth, potentially while Rome Odunze's out. He's got to play better. I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. This stat line's not going to do it, obviously. Now, there's context. Keenan Allen's dropping a touchdown. If he just hits Keenan on that deep cover 2 beater as well. Like, think if just those 2 balls are caught. That first one's what, like a 40-yard touchdown? So that gets him to 15 of 29 for about 135 yards and a touchdown. If the second one's caught, 16 of 29 for about 140-something yards. So, again, it's not like a huge volume day, but, like, he easily could have been 16 of 29 for $150 and 2 scores. We're talking about a whole different deal, right? If that's his opener. 2 throws. If 2 throws change, we're feeling a lot better about things. That's why I'm not freaking out. Like, Caleb Williams throughout his college career was not an inaccurate passer. I think there were some jitters. I think there were some nerves, and you would expect those things to get cleaned up with the footwork. That's where it's got to happen first. That led to some awry throws, but he's got to be more consistent, and he's got to get better. He's not going to go from having a shitty debut to being a top 5 quarterback in the league overnight, but hey, let's be a 60% guy this week or whatever the case may be. Like, he can take incremental steps, and he's got to do that regardless, but just because a weapon's going away doesn't mean you can't expect him to take another step forward. Let's hit 101,000 subscribers here on Bears Now. Why not? We crossed 100K during our last watch party thanks to all of you. If you want continued free and daily Bears content, we got you covered. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, lock us in here on Chicago Bears Now. Just some honorable mentions here. I mentioned Shane Waldron. I didn't love his game plan. I've got a video on 5 adjustments he needs to make, so stay tuned for that for more context there. But I think different personnel groupings and certain schematic things can improve from him. Velus Jones, if they're going to use him, and if he's not going to be a returner, which I don't know how you could trust him to be at this point, you got to be able to trust him and give you some explosiveness offensively. Otherwise, why is he on the team at this point? And then Collin Johnson is the ultimate honorable mention. I think there's a decent chance he'll be elevated as a game day call-up, assuming Rome does miss at least this one game. And he's a guy that I think could give you a little bit of juice as a blocker and a big body receiver. So some kind of honorable mention candidates that could step up and get an opportunity with Odunze out. All right, who do you guys think needs to step up most in week 2? Drop a name down in the comment section below. Honestly, it starts with Waldron. Need him to play better, but then you need Keenan, you need DJ, you need Caleb, you need Swift. Pick one name, drop it down in the comments below. And be sure to follow me on social media. It's at HGramNFL on Twitter, same handle on Instagram. Posting daily Bears content on those 2 platforms, so be sure to rock and roll with us over there. My name is Harrison Graham. We will see you guys soon. Bear down.